Jody, and I'm back with part 2 of our memory wire challenge. For those of you who got to see the first one, you know I was taking a brand new package of memory wire that I had not used yet, and I wanted to see how many sets of jewelry I could get out of it. And you know, I made 2 sets, necklace, bracelet, earrings, and I was really excited about it. So I would like to continue to do more, and we have quite a bit left. So unless I make one really big chunky bracelet, we could probably get quite a bit out of here. It's been a really fun challenge, and I hope you guys are having fun too. I want to quickly tell you guys all thank you so much for all your sweet words and your kind words and your encouragement along the way. It really means so much to me, and it's just such a pleasure for me to be able to do this, to get to know you all better. You know, I live probably not anywhere near most of you, and it's okay that we don't, but this is how we can be connected, and we can all find friends in other areas that love the same things that we love. And yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna get ready to turn you around. Go grab your memory wire, go grab your cutters, especially your memory wire cutters, and all your beads and your other tools, and meet me back here. All right, everyone, I am back, and I have everything ready for my first set that I want to make. And I had some thoughts going through my head about different things and what I wanted to accomplish here. And I also am taking into consideration a lot of your suggestions in future projects. So the one pair of earrings that I made that had like the long pieces of the memory wire, someone suggested to maybe put a couple beads on it or a bead on it and loop the end so it won't be so pokey. And I guess I didn't even think about it being pokey. So I will definitely do that because I don't want to jab myself in the neck or the side of my head with those earrings. So very good suggestions. Keep them coming. I really enjoy it. So as you can see here, I've got some blues and some different shades of reds, and even some like a topazy color, and of course all gold because my memory wire is gold. I did pull it out another chain reaction in case we wanted to use that somehow. And a while back when I had used this to make Wendy's cha-cha bracelet, I said something about that you can use these to make a cute tassel, and someone asked if I could please make a tassel. So I hope you're catching this because that's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to clear this a little bit because I think we're going to start with the tassel because I think this could be the most cumbersome, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so I have some ideas in my head, but we're still kind of winging it because if you guys know, like I know, sometimes all the ideas you have in your head don't quite turn out the same way you thought. So that's okay. It's not a big deal. That's just the way it is sometimes. All right, and I am going to get started here. Okay, and first things first, I'm going to clear away my beads for a moment so that we have some working room. And I'm just going to stack them all off to the side. Probably should have did that off camera because it's kind of clunky and loud, huh? All right. So now we have like a nice clear workspace, and I need this, and I need this beautiful sari silk. And I have a little piece of wire cut here. Well, this is like a leftover wire, piece of gold wire that I am going to be using for this because waste not, want not, right? All right, so first thing I want to do is I do want to incorporate this sari silk into my tassel, but as you can see how wide it is, it's super wide, so it just ended up making it look really like poofy and kind of strange. So I am just going to cut off the length that we're going to need because essentially it's going to be like this in half, and I'm giving myself a little bit more than what I probably need. So we're going to cut about 6 inches of each color that we want to use. We're done with that one. Oh, it's shedding bad. That's all right. We'll fix all that. Gotta love this like raw like ribbon that you can get. It's just so pretty. So I want to use this color. I think it'll go well with our beads. And I really, really want to use this too. It has just a little tiny bit of like gold pattern in it. I don't know if we'll really be able to see it much, but we're gonna still cut some of that off too, just to see if we can. All right, I'll move those aside. And now we have these. Well, they're still gonna be too wide, right? So we need to cut these in a couple strips each. So let's just, maybe we'll do thirds. So just cutting it in thirds. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because it's going to be all like kind of scrunched together in a tassel. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and we will trim up some things and to make it look better too when we're all done. And how you lay these out for the tassel is totally up to you. I'm just gonna kind of put them in like kind of random. I just want them to look really, I don't want all the same color by each other if I can help it, but sometimes you really can't help it. So we're just gonna go for it. What happens, happens, right? Let's do that with this one too. I have no idea where my husband got these scissors, but these are by far the heaviest duty scissors I've ever had in my entire life. I mean, they cut everything. But the only problem is they're so heavy. And after you've been working with your hands, you know, picking up one more big heavy thing is kind of like, all right, I'm done. But they're wonderful. So cut this one in thirds. I hope everyone had a really good week. I know we had a new girl starting because currently right now I was doing her job and my job. So I started training her, and I think she's really great. She's going to be such a good addition to our team. She's really funny and she's smart and she's really kind. And I'm so excited about her being part of our team. And our business is slowing down a little bit. I think I told you guys I work for a hardwood flooring and supply place. We sell the hardwood flooring, we sell tile, we sell laminate flooring, but we also sell all the stuff to refinish a floor, like anything a contractor would need to refinish your home's floor. We also have a very big sports season, which usually starts, you know, roughly around spring break for the high school and college kids, and usually runs through September, where they do the gym floors. So, and then it picks back up too, like during like a Christmas break or holiday break, because they're able to get in there and do the floors as well for, you know, while the kids are not there. So I'm just gonna kind of mix these up a little bit. So anyway, as I was saying, it was slowed down just a tiny bit. So we've been able to catch up a little, which is so refreshing because I do believe I was behind a little, but we all are. So at least I'm not on that island by myself. All right, so I'm just gonna toss these all in there. All right, so now you just have this like whole little stack of fabric. And now you can do other things with this. Like it doesn't have to just be a fabric tassel. It can have chain in it, which is really cute. I think I'm gonna go ahead and skip the chain in it, but I might add maybe a couple little beads if I can on the ends. I don't know right now if that's what I wanna do, or maybe I could. I have all these scraps of Coriana chain from me using it the last time. Some of these are pretty good length. Maybe I'll just throw these in there. Okay, well, let's give that a shot. Let's see how that ends up looking. I don't know if the crayon chain's going to work in there or not, because it's not going to bend properly. So let's take that back out. Okay, I am done being wishy-washy. All right, so then we're going to take the scrap of wire that we have, and we're going to just lay our fabric on there and just kind of hold it down. And you want to, and this is going to look kind of sloppy at first, but I promise you it'll be okay, because it will be hidden in your large bead cap or your tassel cap. So we're going to just kind of make this little part as small as we can, right? So we're going to have to wrap it a couple times, just a couple. And maybe this long one more time here. All right. I am trying so hard to be better about staying on camera. I don't know what it is about, like, my arms just want to like float off to one side. So I'm trying to keep in my mind, stay on camera, stay on camera. All right, so this is what we'd end up having. All right. That's cute. I mean, and the blue is kind of underneath, but you know, I'm okay with that. All right, and then we want to just put both of our wires through that little cap that you have. And I'm going to squish down my petals a little bit just so it's more of a closed cap, and it's very malleable. So you can, if you have these, I mean, you can just smush them down. And I did remember where I got these, by the way. It was Auntie's Beads, and they had them in silver and they had them in gold. So if you're looking for them, and I think they were pretty inexpensive. I think they were like under $2 for 4 of them. So it's pretty good. All right. So that's what we have. And then I'm just going to take my short wire and just do like a little teeny wrap around this big, the taller wire, okay? Doesn't have to be major, just tiny. Just enough to like secure that little chunk. And then we can cut that. Whoa, I don't know, slid down. Okay, so let me try that again. Oh my goodness, you guys. All right, so let me try that again. We just need to have a tiny little, I didn't realize it was sliding down as I was turning it. Okay, there we go. That's better. That's so much better. All right, let me just grab these and smush that down. All right, we do want it to be nice and secure, nice and tight on there. All right, and then I am going to cut that off. So I just use my regular cutters, and I am gonna have to like vacuum or something, because I'm gonna have like sari silk threads everywhere. Put that in my little trash thing. Squish that one down. All right, and then we want to take a bead and put a bead on the top, just so we have like a little topper for our little tassel. And I think I squished that one petal in there too hard, so let me just pull that back out a little. There we go. All right, and I want to bring out some of that blue, so I think I'm going to use one of these big blue shiny ones. Okay, very pretty. All right, so what we're going to do here now is we're going to just kind of make like a little wrapped loop here to hold this on, but to give us something to hang on our necklace. So I'm going to grab my round nose pliers, and I want the loop to be kind of big, so somewhere in the middle. I don't want it to be too tiny. So I'm just going to bend that over, twist my hand, bend it back around, twist my hand back the other way, go underneath my pliers, take it off, and now I have my little loop started. I'm gonna grab my bent nose pliers. Can I figure out what I'm doing? I can't figure out what I'm doing here today, guys. All right, there we go. I feel like I just started doing this today. I've never done this before in my life. All right, so then we're just I'm gonna use my hands just to wrap, because it's pretty soft and I can do that. And it can be as neat as you want or as messy as you want. And there we go. So now we have our little loop, and I'm just going to kind of fix it, make sure it looks good, and cut the extra off that we don't need. And then, it keeps following me, and then squish in the little part that we don't want to get snagged on our clothes. So, all right, so here we go. Now we have our little tassel. And we can trim up these like layers just so that we don't have some hanging down as, you know, super long, but we'll do that part later. So that's how you make a tassel. So, and you can use any materials. You don't have to use sari silk. You can use some ribbon, you can use leather, you can use all chain if you want. But you can do that any size, any type of material as you want. All right, so we're gonna put him aside. He's really cute. I might just leave him all uneven. All right, so now came my idea of what I had wanted to do. So I'm gonna grab my memory wire, and I had thought about making like one side of the necklace as like these little memory wire links. And I wanted to kind of double them and then use like jump rings to hook them together. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, like I said, it was in a thought and I don't know exactly how it'll turn out, but let's just try it and see. All right. It doesn't have to be, like the whole necklace doesn't have to be this. I don't know if I would want that to be, I mean, we're gonna use some chain to do the back part of it so it's not so, I think it would just lay strange across like the back of someone's neck. It would be really weird. So we're gonna use some chain for that part. And I can never find the end, and I just had it in my hand. All right, so let's do a couple more. We can always trim these off if we want, but it looks like I'm getting them all pretty darn close, which is great. All right. All right, so what I'm imagining is probably, so that's 4, so that's 1 on each side. You know, I don't know if I can double them up. So that's 2, let's just do 6 because I think I'm gonna have them be single lengths. And I don't know if you guys can like hear my thoughts as I'm sitting here talking and like cutting these, but I'm like imagining in my head, I'm like, I don't know if the double lengths would work. I mean, we can surely give it a try and see, but these are all pretty close. I think I want to just kind of trim up a few. See how, I keep hitting it with my hand and it's driving me crazy. I'm sure it's driving you guys crazy. Okay, so I am going to just kind of spread these apart and just trim them up a little bit. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect, doesn't have to be perfect. I don't take myself that serious to make it that perfect. So we are going to just finish trimming these up. I'm trying not to make a huge mess here. I already have a huge mess. All right, I should have saved the sari silk one for last so I had a nice clean mat for this video until the end. That's okay. All right, so we have our little segments that we're going to use, and I am going to turn them inward. So we're just going to turn one side inward to give us space to bead, and so our beads don't fall off, which I just remembered somebody had told me that they use the little like silicone ear nuts to put on the end of their wire while they're beading so that their beads don't fall off. And I thought, wow, that's pretty genius. I like that. I never thought about using those for that. So whoever you are, thank you for telling me that. I think that's really, really cool, and really cool idea. So I'm just turning them, all of them, I'm turning just one side inward, and we're gonna make them all the same so they all look the same like that. You don't want some going in, some going out. If you want them to go out instead, you can absolutely do that, but maybe just keep them all going out then. All right. Does anyone do any fall festivities? I don't know if anyone here has a neighborhood that they live in that they get trick-or-treaters or anything like that, or has kids young enough that go trick-or-treating, or if any of you are going to like any football get-togethers or anything like that. I know that I have, a lot of friends that don't really do the Halloween thing, which is fine, and they do like the harvest thing, and that's kind of really more my jam anyway. My kids when they were little, they would go trick-or-treating, but now that, they're not little anymore, I kind of tend to just decorate for like fall and harvest time. I do have a couple cute little Halloween decorations. One, which is it's a candle holder, but it looks like a haunted house. I got it at Bath and Body Works so many years ago, and it's really cute, and it just sits on your table, and it's pretty big, and you put your candle in the middle of it, and all the little windows light up. It's just really cute. So I usually put that in there. I also just decorate with a lot of leaves and pumpkin-y things, and I love pumpkins. So speaking of pumpkins, I would like to know if any of you who took advantage of my pumpkin butter recipe that I had, or the pumpkin fluff one. I just made some more pumpkin fluff today because the kids ate it really, really well. So let me know if you tried it and what you thought, and I'd really like to know. All right, so we are going to just bead these up. So I don't know really what combination I want to do these in, and I know I can't really use these guys because they're so long. I just pulled them out because I thought they were pretty, and I haven't used any of them yet. So let's just start beading on, I guess. So I want to use this blue one. Maybe I want to start with a gold. And we can definitely cut these shorter if we feel like we don't want them to be as long as they are right now. I wasn't sure what length I'd end up wanting to do. So I thought, well, I'll just cut them kind of big, and if we want to make them shorter, we can. And I'm just randomly doing this. I don't really have any rhyme or reason about what these are going to look like. I just want to beat them. So I want to do this. I really like this. This picks up some of the blue when it's next to the blue. I really, really like that. All right. So if any of you had a chance to watch the Suncatcher wind chime video that I did, I'd like to know if you ended up trying to make it, or if you made it already and you have it hanging somewhere in your house. I think they're so cute, and I've been wanting to make them for so long. But when you see something when you're out and about and you want to make something, and you're thinking, oh wow, yeah, I'm gonna jot that down when I get home. Well, if you're anything like me, you get home and you've lost any sort of memory you had about what you wanted to jot down. I get home and I forget, and then if I'm back out and about somewhere and I see it again, I think, oh yeah, there it is. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do. But I'm just curious to see if any of you made it. I would love to see what it ended up looking like, or if you end up going with any kind of theme or anything like that. I think it'd be really cute to do some themes. And then I was even thinking too, it would be really cute to do for like a little kid's room, or a baby's room on their window or something. It'd be really adorable. I'm having a really tough time finding the hold it. There we go, that bead. All right, so I think maybe we'll stop there. I like the way this looks together. I really like the way it looks. It's very random, but this picks up some of those other colors, and I just think it looks really cool. All All right, so just like that end, we are going to snip off some of this because we don't need that much. Anytime that you're making like a loop, you maybe only need 1/4 of an inch depending how big you want your loop. So I'm going to get a good grip on these first and snip that off. And then I'm going to roll that piece under, just like I did on the other side. There. That's, you know what, that's really cute. I think I really, really like that. And I'm going to do another one. Oh, I forgot I had these other beads too. I got them out, but I didn't put them in a tray. Well, let me do that real quick because these are really, really pretty. These are, yeah, the Imperial Jasper. So I did want to use these because they have some of that blue in there too, and they're just really, really pretty. So I thought I felt a little short on my beads. All right, well, we'll use those in one of the next ones here. So let's go ahead and make another link. This one I'm going to start with this. And like I said, I'm not even gonna match up what they're gonna look like across from each other. I want them to be completely random. I don't want them to be anything really like the other one. Just maybe having the same colors, you know? So we have that. And then that loop is really large. I'm gonna fix that. It's bothering me. Did you ever fix something and then you kind of like over fix it and and then you thought, well, I ruined that. I've done that so many times where all you're trying to do is just fix it and you end up needing to start over because what you did to it misshaped it, or you just couldn't get it to go back to look right. All right, so we have that. Let's do one of these Imperial Jasper ones. And these have a nice big hole in them. So I think maybe if we wanted to, we could hang a couple of them or just push them up on our sari silk tassel. That might be kind of cute. You know, and using some of these beads, this really gave me the opportunity to use some of the ones that I normally don't use. I mean, there's a lot of colors here that you would think that I would use, but I gravitate towards certain colors. And, you know, I'm pretty sure we all do that. But I'm like, you know, these other beads want love too, and they want to be, you know, on something pretty. But I do forget about them sometimes. All right. So I kind of did like a reverse thing with this one because I went through my sari silk and I saw those colors just kind of laying together and I thought, ooh, that's what I want. So I grabbed them out of there and I grabbed those and I took them over to my beads and I started just pulling beads out and laying beads down with them. All right, so it looks like I might need a couple more here. And I think we'll do one of these really pretty big sparkly blue ones up towards the top. And okay, we're getting there. I know it's not very scientific the way I'm measuring it, but it all works. I don't want to use one of those. Maybe this one. Okay, and then we just need a couple little beads. So we'll use this little guy and we'll use one of these. All right, and those should be about the same length. Oh yeah, that's good. That's really good. All right, so I need to trim off some more of my memory wire now. Leaving about 1/4 inch. And I'm going to turn the end of this wire underneath just like all the others. Okay, and then moving on to another one. trying to grab one here. I need a more comfortable chair. Right now, all I have in my room is a folding chair. And I know that seems so primitive, doesn't it? But I really need a more comfy chair, like a desk chair. But I don't want to have to spend too much on one either. So I'm gonna try to watch some sales coming up and see if I can find one that would be suitable for what I need. This one's been fine for the little bit that I did here and there, but now I find that I'm doing so much more because I get to share it with you guys. So I kind of need something a little more cushiony. All right, and again, just being super random with it. Don't really want it to be too matchy-matchy or anything like that. I'm just trying to alternate some of the colors just so that we can bring all those colors together. And I guess maybe I never would have thought that these colors would look really great together. And I don't think I'm great at matching, like just by sight. I almost have to like lay everything by each other so I can see if it's something that I like. I had just a couple little random blue gemstones left, just 2 of them. And I'm like, well, time to use them. They're gonna be happy because they're gonna be on something pretty when we're all done here. Let's see, how do we look? Oh, we got a lot further to go. All right, I will use one of these little window ones now. I really love these. I think they're so pretty. I really like the little window beads. And let me see, what else do I want to use? Maybe just some more tiny ones. I haven't used any of these yet. And should have grabbed some really teeny tiny blue ones too. Some little 4mm blue ones that match these big blue ones. All right, so let me see. Okay, yeah, that's actually perfect. All right, so let's again trim off some more. And roll it under like I did the other ones. Whoop. So we have 3 of the 6 links made so far. Those are very pretty. Those are all gonna be very pretty. I think I'm really gonna like this necklace. I think this is gonna be probably my favorite. But we'll see, we're not done with it yet. I don't wanna get my hopes up. I don't wanna think too hard on this right now. I just wanna kind of roll with it and see what, let's see what happens. All right. Use one of these. Another one of these. I love all these little flat spacers, like the little hex, like looks like a little nut that goes on the end of a screw, and these little flower ones. They're just so cute. Sometimes I feel like I gravitate more towards spacers than I do regular beads, and you know, that's great and all, but I can't use spacers to fill up an entire necklace. I mean, I could, but we would need an awful lot of spacers to do that. So today I am making Instapot jambalaya. So it has chicken and andouille sausage and a bunch of other like seasonings and some rice and celery and onions. And I have some really great Louisiana seasoning that I use that you can get locally pretty much anywhere you live. But a girlfriend of mine who still lives in Louisiana, she sends me little care packages here and then with some of the stuff that she knows that I love from down there. And so I'm making that tonight in the Instapot. It really only takes from beginning to end about an hour and a half. And if you were to make jambalaya on its own, like in a pot, it would probably take you all day to make it. So I will definitely share that one with you too. Again, I'm always all about like delicious but super simple and easy recipes. This one is going, I wonder if these will fit. This one is going to be a little more better than my simple recipes, but it's just so good. It's so good. And if you like a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice, and something very hearty, and something that will last for a few days, because I know you guys know that we have, you know, the boys live at home here with us, and you know, teenage boys eat quite a bit. They, you know, have that metabolism that just needs them to eat. So I like to have some meals that stretch. And this is definitely one of those ones that do. It's a great meal, and everyone loves it. And you can do different proteins in it. So you don't have to do andouille sausage. You can use a really good smoked sausage is really good in it. Or if you wanted to give it a whole different spin, instead of chicken, you could probably, you know, throw some shrimp in to do it. The only problem is I wouldn't want my shrimp cooking that long. I would probably cook my shrimp separately in some of the seasoning that I would be using in the jambalaya, and then add it at the end and just kind of cook it all together, because, you know, shrimp cooks so fast. So you could probably do that. There's just a lot of different things that you could do with it that makes it so great. All right. And if any of you are from the, you know, the South, I know the South has the best food. I mean, I shouldn't say that. You know, us Northerners too, we have some pretty good food too. So we all do, but I really love like a little bit of heat and a little bit of spice. So I tend to lean towards some of those really delicious Southern dishes that I've had. I'm also a big fan of grits. I love oatmeal. I love grits, but I like my grits to be savory. I love it with cheese and bacon, and it's just so good. It's so good. All right, so now we have 4. I wonder, you know what? This 4 might be long enough for what I want to do. Maybe we should use, I could use one of these for an earring, so I'm not too worried about it. But maybe we should use one like this to put some beads and our tassel on, and then start going up with these. I'm thinking about hanging them like this and like that. You know, like this one this way. I don't know. You know what? I think we should try it. Let's just see what this would look like. I really hope this doesn't drive you guys crazy like when I do this, because I really didn't know what exactly I was going to do. And I really just love being able to sit here and share it with you. And, you know, maybe so you'll see something that I didn't see that I should try. And then, you know, next time I can try it. Or something that you could share with, you know, all of us, because if you're commenting, all of us will see it. And somebody else who goes to make something similar to this would be able to do what you suggested. We're just going to give this a shot. All right, and I don't want the blue one. I don't want to have a blue one there, so I'm just going to keep going with what I have. Maybe I will do one of these jasper ones, and then a plain gold bead, then maybe another jasper one. Oh, then another, let's do one of these lantern gold beads. I'm sorry that I'm having to keep clear my throat, you guys. It's that time of year where it's just allergy and all kinds of weird stuff going around. All right, let's just keep this the same. Let's make it mirrored so that it just looks the same. you know, I have my glasses on, I have all these lights, and there we go. I still just can't see the hole in the bead. So you guys gave me a lot of really good ideas for storage in my craft room, and I'm really excited to start implementing some of these things. I've been on a couple different sites looking at different options for myself, and I'm really, really excited about it. I have quite a few really great ideas because of you all, and I really appreciate it. I just really need to get this so it's a little more organized for myself. And maybe if I would just clean up after myself too, after every time I use something. I have all these trays and I just end up, you know, whatever I'll put my projects like in a tray. And then when I'm done, I'll put all the rest of the stuff in there that I'm not going to use for the next project. Just leave it in the tray. And then, you know, at the end of the week, I have all these trays to get rid of. And I'm like, come on, Jody, just put it away. All right. I guess maybe I feel like if I leave it long enough, then I'll end up using that stuff again and I won't have to go get it out. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm thinking. All right, so we're going to, I trimmed that off again, and we're going to make that loop for the end of this one and turning it in just like all the rest. And if I just went off camera, I'm sorry. When I make these loops on this memory wire, I tend to like pull it towards myself for some reason. And I'm trying to consciously remember to keep it out in front of me so that you guys can all see it. All right, so I think that's cute. Oh my goodness, I think I'm really going to like this. I think this is going to turn out really cute. I'm just gonna shove these aside for a second so we can kind of look at this, because I really think, I saw this in my mind of what I wanted this to look like. And now I'm just trying to think, did I do the wrong thing? You know, I don't think I did. You know what? I think it's going to be fine. And I have all these little, oh, it's a split ring. I don't want that one right now. I have all these little jump rings. So let me grab those because I do want to connect these with jump rings just to kind of give it a little more, I guess, wiggle, I guess. All right, so let's open this up. So today's Sunday, and I went yesterday to the other side of the state. Since my mom is moving, her siblings wanted to celebrate her 70th birthday with her. So we did it a little early. We did it yesterday, and they had a little surprise birthday for her. She had no idea that we were coming up there. It was really hard to keep that a secret from her. It was so difficult. And she was really surprised because all her siblings that are still around were there, and her stepfather was there, and it was so great. My aunts made like little chicken salad sandwiches, and there was like a spicy chip dip and just all kinds of stuff, brownies and zucchini cake, and it was really nice. It was really nice. So we only went up for the day though, because we really had to get back so that we could both get ready for the work week ahead of us. I had grocery shopping to do today. And you know what? I do not like that jump ring business. I don't know what is going on with that. Maybe I just didn't put my jump ring on right. I didn't, because look, that's how it went on. That's why it's all messed up. All right. So anyway, we went up there and spent a few hours with my family, and it was so nice. I love my dad's side of the family and my mom's side of the family. My mom and dad were divorced when I was little, and but I'm so close to my mom's side of the family because they're really the ones that raised me. I was the first grandchild, and my aunt and uncle that are twins are only 10 years older than me. So they're the youngest. My grandma had 7 children. The last 2 were twins. And that's quite, you think you're having your 6th, then you go into the hospital, because back then they didn't know if you were having twins all the time right away until you had one baby, and then the doctor's like, oh wait, there's another one. So they're only 10 years older than me. My Aunt Dana, I was always really close to her, and my Aunt Sandra, and because she's not that much older either. She's like the the third youngest of all the aunts. So I was always really, really super close to them, but I'm close with all of them. They're all just wonderful people, and I really feel like I have the best family. Anyway, the only one who didn't make it this year was my Uncle Dave. He's my Aunt Dana's twin. He passed away in February. He had a heart attack and he passed away. And you know, it's kind of sobering when you think about it, because when someone, you know, passes away for something like that, and they're only 10 years older than you, it's kind of like, okay, am I really doing the best I can for myself, for my heart? You know, this isn't about, you know, aesthetics. This isn't about looking good or anything like that. It's about feeling good, feeling healthy. You know, am I going to be here to see my grandchildren? Well, you know, I don't know that. Nobody knows that. You know, only person who knows that is God. And, you know, he will make the best decision he can for me, and he already knows what's going to happen with me. But if I can do anything to help out my situation a little bit, I will, you know. And I've been trying really hard to, you know, eat a little bit better, at least, you know, 2 meals out of my day. You know, like I bring a lot of raw vegetables for myself at work. All right, so I don't know if I'm going to be really crazy about this, but it's definitely different. And I'm wondering if I used some like, just trying to think. I like it. I really like it. But I almost feel like there should be something in between each of these. Like maybe if I did like this bead in between them, it would kind of space it out a little bit. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. So you don't have to watch me take this apart. I am going to stop this for a minute. I'm going to take it apart and I'll be back. Okay, I think I came up with a plan. So I think it will look okay if I take this, put these on here like that, and then I can do these opposite. So like this, and then this one like that with another little guy in between. But I think I want to use those little ones up higher, and I think I want to use these big, giant, purpley looking ones. All right, so this is it. This is going to be what it is, okay? So if this doesn't work out, we will all get a good giggle out of it, and we will move on, because I don't think you want to spend the entire evening with me unless you want to come over for dinner. All right, so we have that. And all I'm doing is I am taking these beads and I'm turning them into a link by using a eye pin. So I'm taking my eye pin and I'm just putting it through my bead, and then I'm bending it straight down sideways like this, cutting off some of that, leaving about 1/4 of an inch again. You can leave more if you want bigger loops. And then I am twisting that back until I can make my loop. And there I have a loop. So let's try this. And I wonder if I can just hang it directly. Let's give that a shot. Oop. It'd be helpful if I grab the pliers. So I'm just gonna open that like a little jump ring, and we're just going to connect it. I'm really determined to make this vision come true. All right, and let's do the same with this side. My eye pin is flipping around inside my bead there. Let me hang on to it. Whoops. Okay, and just close that back up. All right, I really need to make some space here. Making some space, guys. Just making some space. Okay, so now we have that. And I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work. Okay, I'm getting excited now because I think we can do it. And I think I want to lay these like this. I want these to be turned this way. There we go. But I don't want the same beads across from each other. All right, perfect. So we have this one we're going to open up. And again, you just open up your loop just like you would your jump rings. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I did it that way. All right, that's fine. I'm just going to hang this one that way too. All right. Every time I hang it on, I think I'm going the one way, but I'm not. Okay, let me see if I can do this right. Okay, I am just gonna redo this one real quick here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. We got this. We got this. We can do it. I really do wish that, that there are some of you who live nearby. I think it'd be so much fun to just get together and just make something together. It'd be just so much fun just to sit at one table and just talk and, have some coffee or some tea or some pop or whatever, and just sit and visit and enjoy each other's company and just bounce ideas off each other, and it would just be so much fun. I don't know if this is going to work, guys, but you know what? We're in it now and we're going to do it whether it works or not. I wanted to use a lot of memory wire in this necklace, and this was the only way I could think to do it. Like I said, if it doesn't work, it's okay, because I can cut it apart and make it into something else. But I think it's gonna end up being kind of cool. And I will even try this on my body at the end so you guys can see it like on me. Just because I think it would be easier to show it on me than just laying it flat, so you can see how it would end up looking. All right, so now I want these to go like this. I'm just gonna move those little jump rings aside, I'll use them. Those are my tough jump rings, so they'll go right back to the shape really well. A lot of times when I can't open and close, open and close the jump rings too many times because they will just not be strong enough anymore. But these are some really heavy duty ones. And I believe I got these on Amazon actually, which is, usually the ones that I've gotten on Amazon before weren't fantastic, but these have been really strong. So I really, really like them. They hold up to all my shenanigans. Because I am super tough on my jewelry. I don't know. I always have to try to make my jewelry to like pretend like I'm gonna wear it all the time. I think it's gonna be me, only me wearing it. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna like this. But you know what? Here we are. We're doing it. It's gonna be fine. And now I just wanna take some chain, and I am debating whether or not, no. I just want some plain chain. So I'm just gonna grab some of my chain here. And I don't need much, I don't think. So I kind of want about this much. Where'd the other chunk go? It flew off somewhere. All right, now let's put this in half. Oh, found my other chunk. It did fly. It went over on the other side of me. Okay, so now we're going to do this. We're gonna hang these on with the jump rings that I have. So I never promised that everything I do was going to be successful, but here's what I'm hoping, is that you guys see this, you tell me what you think would work better, or if I should just totally nix the whole idea of trying to make links going all the way up my necklace out of memory wire, or if I should add something to them to try to make it more, because I had even thought about like doing like little pieces of chain from here to here, but I'm not gonna do that right now. All right, so I'm putting all my finishing touches on it with my jump rings, and I'm going to set it aside because I will put it on at the end. I love the bottom, so I might just take off all these links and just put some chain on it because the bottom is super cute. Super, super cute. All right. Make sure that's closed all the way. And then put the other piece of my toggle on it. This is my last flower toggle. I had a ton of them for a long time, and I thought this one would look really pretty with this one since it has like the little flower bead cap that we're using for our tassel. So, and I think the more I think about it, that I want to leave the tassel just the way it is. Just kind of rough and, you know, wild. All right, so I'm putting the necklace aside. Sorry for hitting the camera. I forget how close it is sometimes. And we're going to do the bracelet next. So the bracelet is also going to have sari silk, but it's going to be a wrap. So I'm giving myself some room here, and we don't have to trim the sari silk this time. We don't have to cut it into little strips. So let's see. We need probably about this, about this much. When I say wrap, I don't mean a wrap bracelet. It's gonna be wrapped around the memory wire. All right, so when we do that, we're also going to need some of our wire. And this is 20 gauge wire is what I'm gonna be using on that. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're going to cut it so that there's about a 2-inch overhang, right? Because we're going to be making loops, and we're going to probably lose a little bit of our circumference as we go, but I will show you. So we're going to just start with the one end, and we're going to make a loop. And it's going to be a little bit larger of a loop, and it's going to go under. So just grab the end of your memory wire. I'm doing it right about a little bit past the middle, and I'm just turning it under for that loop. Okay, so see, it's going to be a little bit larger of a loop. All right, great. Okay, and then I'm going to get my sari silk back, and we're going to use this piece. And don't worry, you can always trim up all these little extra like strings, you know, when you're done, or if they're getting in your way, trim them off in between and when you're done. All right. Whew, it's wild over here. Okay. So I got that one, and then I want to use this one with it. I'm just gonna grab that, pull those two together, and there we go. Okay. So I'm not trimming anything off of these right now. I am just waiting until I am done wrapping this around my my memory wire. So the first end I'm getting, and I'm just going to put it right next to this little loop. All right, and we're going to just, excuse me, excuse me, tuck it in like so. I know it's kind of fiddly. So you're doing this, right? And you're just kind of wrapping it around, and we're going to just wrap, and we gotta wrap up here too, because we want that to be somewhat secure. We're gonna secure it down with wire as well. Oh my goodness. All right. And just slide it up there. And it's gonna look a little fat and weird at first here, but I promise you it will look better when we're all done. And we're just gonna keep wrapping it around and around. And you can do this with one color, you can do it with 8 colors, you can do it however you want. I just wanted these 2 colors. And I didn't want the checkered, that little plaid pattern or anything like that. And it's gonna be kind of like a bangle bracelet in a way, but you're gonna be able to use a a closure, like a little lobster closure at the end to make sure it stays on your wrist and it doesn't fall off. So not really caring about how it looks right now, just kind of wrapping it around, all the way around. It doesn't have to be super duper tight, but you don't want it really, really loose either. It will loosen up on its own while you're doing this so that it'll be kind of like a puffier fabric, right? Okay. And we're gonna go to a little bit further down. I always give myself so much extra at the ends, and I think I do that because it's like my fail-safe. See, because we don't need a ton of room. This is gonna be for my wrist, so I know how much space I need. And you know, you could also add a little extension chain if you needed to as well. I am not cutting this off yet, all right? So I'm just leaving it. Oop, that is getting a little, let me fix that. All right, so I'm just leaving it right like that. I think I want something to clamp it down. Why didn't I bring any of my little clamps right here? And here we go. I use these little binder clips. So I'm going to clamp it down just so it's out of our way, because now we need to focus on this other part, just so it doesn't all come unraveled. All right. So we have this end that's now coming unraveled. It's fine, it really is. We're just gonna twist it back around. And I'm using that aqua color to twist it back around because I have more of that one for some reason right there. All right, so now we need some of our wire, and we actually need quite a bit because we are going to wrap around it. I am going to cut off approximately 2 feet, maybe almost 3. I need one more hand. Really, I just need one more hand. All right, so if you've never wrapped with wire, you'd probably be concerned about like the one piece of wire, like what do you do with it so it doesn't like stick somebody or anything like that. And I'm sorry this is so fumbly, you guys. It's really not that bad. It just, you fumble with it. So how you end up fixing that is by leaving probably about just a little bit over 1/4 inch laying flat against the piece that you're going to wrap around. So this is what I do. I lay it right there, and you have to hold it down pretty tight because now you're going to just turn a 90-degree angle with the rest of your wire, and you can just start wrapping it. And at the end here, you want to wrap it pretty tight. because you want it to be nice and secure. So I'm not leaving any spaces in between my wrap. I'm just trying to get them as close to each other as I can. So kind of like a little cap, right? Oh, it keeps getting in the way. There we go. All right. So kind of like a little end cap. And just as tight as you can. All right, and that's probably gonna be about as far as I will go, being that tight. All right, and it's gonna hold it down. So now the rest of it, you can just kind of go around. Oh my goodness, you guys. It's really not that difficult. It's just, it's getting in the way. All right, you're gonna go around the rest of your bracelet, and you can go as close as you want. I want it to be somewhat far away from each other. Like I just want to make it kind of like a messy little wrap here. All right, you are seeing me bumbling so much today. You know what? This is driving me insane. So I am going to cut this off for a second, and I am going to compose myself, and we are going to fix this. So I've done, see, this is the bad thing, is I have done these before. This is the one thing I can say, I have done these before, and I really have never had this much of a problem. So it's okay though, it's okay. It is what it is. You guys just get to see me have an extra hard time today. And I don't want to take it off camera and fix it, because I want you to see that, you know, I'm having an issue with it and we need to fix it, right? So it's fine. This is the best thing to do, is to keep you on camera. Let me see, you know, let you see me struggle, because we all have them and we all need to go through and fix sometimes our messes, right? Which is what I'm trying to do right now. And I think I know what I'm gonna do to fix this, because that little end, it keeps getting in my way. I think I'm gonna go ahead and close it off and try this again. And I had such a nice tight wrap too. And having to cut that off now, I'm just like, man. You know, that is really seriously the one thing that I really enjoyed about Wendy's videos, is she never cut any of that stuff out. She just left it in, and it showed me that, you know, even she had struggles with stuff when she made it, or she made mistakes, you know, because otherwise you watch some of these people and you're like, gosh, they're perfect. They don't have any problems. They make no mistakes at all. Everything works out like a dream for them. How come it doesn't work out like that for me? And it's just not reality, right? I mean, it's like when you have Instagram influencers. They all look perfect. They all have, you know, the nicest clothes. They drive the best cars. They have the best jobs. But, you know, deep down, it's possible there could be something missing in their life, you know, too. So, you know, it's hard to remember to just don't judge a book by its cover, no matter how you're judging, whether you're judging in a way that is good and admirable, or if you are judging in a way where you think that they're doing something wrong. So we don't want to judge one way or the other. So this is what I'm doing to like fix this, to remedy this. I opened up the end of my little loop here, my memory wire, and I am going to tuck as much of this in there as I can, because I can pull that back out. I just need it to be secure for now. And I'm gonna just close that back up so it's not in my way. Okay, now we have this end here. And I might make this into this might be my part 2 because it's taking so long, and then I'll have to make a part 3 because this is taking forever. And I'm gonna end up having to stop eventually to take care of my family for a little bit. So I think I'll end it after this one, but don't worry, I almost used my wrong cutters. Were you guys all yelling at me? All right, because I do need to care for my family and make sure I have some dinner on the table eventually here. But hopefully I can come back after dinner and do part 3 and get that all worked out. All right, so I'm going to just push this underneath so all my silk is underneath, and I'm going to twist this side of my memory wire underneath too. We're just going to close this off completely, right? Because I think this is the only way I can do it. And your silk is going to slide. It's going to slide, and it's okay because you can just pull it right back down. See, it kind of bunched up on me and it slid when I twisted my wire, but it's all right. So I just closed it back up, pushed it back down, got that closed. All right, so now that we have that, whew, that was really, really, really difficult for me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. All right, so I'm going to cut off this sari silk because we really don't need all of that. All right, so now we have this. Now we need to put this on this. So here we go. And just kind of straighten this back out a little bit. And let's start here. And again, I am just going to start here, and I am going to lay this flat down right here. And I have my 90-degree angle, and I'm just going to wrap. And I'm gonna try to keep these as close together as I can. Just to secure that end. I'm getting tangled up on my lamp, and there we go. All right. I just want the end pieces to be nice and chunky so that it's really gonna hold that sari silk in its spot. And this time I actually have it, you guys. I'm doing it, I'm doing it. This is amazing. Okay, so now that I've gotten it down this far, you see that end that I left down there? Now I can trim that off. And that way it's right underneath all of these little wires, and it's not going to poke anybody. It's not going to scratch anyone or, you know, or snag on anyone's clothes. So I'm just gonna bend that one little piece up like that. Oh yeah, I'm not working memory wire, I almost scared myself. And trim that off. And then I'm going to use my pliers just to bend that back down flat. Okay, all right, good. All right, and we'll continue to wrap this, and now my wraps are gonna get a little bit further apart. But not too tight either. I want them to be tight, but not too tight. I don't want them like dividing up the sari silk. I want you to be able to see it on top. And it doesn't have to be spaced apart perfectly. It can just be very random, just very kind of messy. Funny, all of a sudden I started, like, my stomach started growling when I said I'm going to get ready to make some dinner. Like, my stomach's like, I heard you say it. You're going to make dinner. Yes, I am. All right. But we still have a pair of earrings to make, and I want to get one complete set done today for you guys. I'm bummed that I'm not doing the other one, but that's okay. It's really gonna be okay. All right, so now we're getting to the end, and it looks like I may have cut this maybe perfectly or just too short, but we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna pull this back out of my little knot there, but I'm gonna squish it down. And I'm just going to wrap, and I did, but that's okay because I want to go back over it again. So I want to do this double. I want to go back the other way too. So this is fine. It's going to hold it for now. All right, just squish it down. And let's get another piece that's about 2.5, 3 feet long, because I'm just gonna wrap it, go in the opposite direction too. So it has a wrap here. Right. Okay. And again, just laying that wire down right on top here. Bend that at 90 degrees. Start a little bit down right here and just start wrapping kind of tight so you can secure that end of the silk. And it looks like we did quite a few little wraps. I'm just getting them as close as I can. It's not going to be perfect, and it's kind of not meant to be, right? You want it to be a little unruly, I guess. All right, trim off that little end and smush it down back inside there. There we go. And we're just going to continue to wrap this going the opposite way, so that we have kind of like little gold zigzag type thing going on here. And as you can see, some of the wire has disappeared into the silk. This is why we go over it twice, just so that you can still see some of that gold wire. As you can see, I really do not have any rhyme or reason to how I am doing this. I am just wrapping it. Some are close together, some are not, and that's okay. And of course, you can be a lot more neater and more intentional with your wrapping if you choose to. Or you can just be very random and messy with it. All right, so this we're just going to wrap around, and this wire will stay. It's not like it's going to come undone. I mean, it would take a lot for you to undo all this wire. So I'm just going to smush that in there. Turn the end of it in, and just squish that into our silk so it doesn't poke out. All right, so that's what we have so far. And now I do want to hang some dangles from it, and you can clean up your ends, right? You can squish them together a little bit, just so that if you want it to look a little neater, you could do that. I'm not so concerned about it. I kind of like the whole like messy, like bird's nest look, right? So here's that. And now I want some larger jump rings. A couple of these big ones. Because I want to hang some things from this bracelet. I want to hang a leaf. I would like to hang one of these window beads. I would really like to hang one of these big blue sparkly beads. And maybe one of these too, just to tie it all in together with some little lantern beads. So I'm going to get my, I'm going to use my ball head pins for those. And I think we're gonna put like a couple little gold beads on with the leaf too, just kind of make it pretty. Okay. Oh, so I'm gonna need one more ball head pin. All right, so there we go. Or actually I could use an eye pin. That'd be even better because I can hang the leaf right directly from that. All right, so I have that. And now let's start with that one. Let's open up our eye pin, let's put that little leaf right on there, close it back up, and put our little beads on our eye pin, just like that. And we're going to do a wrap, a wrapped loop. Okay. The earrings are going to be pretty simple. And I think I found a better way to make the loops or the hoops with the memory wire. I saw an instruction on how to make the perfect memory wire hoops on Pinterest. And I want to give it a shot because sometimes I struggle with them. And you guys probably already have seen the perfect way and you probably already make them that way, but this will be my first time attempting it. So we're gonna give it a shot. All right, and I want this blue one. Again, another wrap loop. These are some really sturdy ball head pins. I don't think I've ever had any that were this sturdy. Like I probably could just do a regular loop, but I'm gonna do a wrap with my dangles. I like the wraps with my dangles. Whoops. You know, I belong to a couple different beading groups, and I was on one of them yesterday, and I could hear almost the tears and the frustration in this woman's post. And it was about crimping. And I think we can all relate that it took a long time to get really good crimps. And she even says she's using really good crimp beads. She's using Beadalon ones. She's using, other top name ones. And she just can't get them to stay. She can't get them to look right. And I really felt how sad and frustrated she was. And I was going to respond, but then I started reading some of the comments and I'm like, nope, everyone's got this. They're telling her exactly what we've all been told. Just keep practicing, just practice. And eventually you'll get really good at them. And, you still have moments where, I've had to undo my crimps and like cut them off because they were just not great at all. They looked really, really rough. But, I'm happy to say that after all this time, like most of the time I can do them and walk away and I'm pleased with them. All right. Got one more. I don't know if I want to hang them all like separately or all together. I guess we'll wait and see what this looks like. I kind of would like them all just kind of sliding around on there. So I think maybe we'll just do that. Okay, my last wrap loop on my ball head pin. Just incorporating some of our necklace into this bracelet. I'm throwing some of the beads that we have on there in here too, even though this isn't really a beaded bracelet. I always get like so paranoid that I've been talking this whole time, making this whole thing, and it's not recording. So every now and then I have to kind of jump up and look at it. Okay, yeah, it's still recording. Because I think at this point, if it wasn't, I would scrap this video and just pretend like it never happened, and I just start a new one, because there's no way I would undo all this, especially with how much I've struggled. I would not undo this. I would just start over with a fresh project, and I would just pretend like this one didn't happen. But I hope you guys do appreciate that it did happen, and you got to see my struggles, and I hope I gave you a good giggle. That's one thing I do love. Like, you have to be able to laugh at your struggles, because if you don't, you'll just get so upset. And I know there's been times I've wanted to throw my players across the room and say I give up. And I'm like, no, because you're gonna break a window or hurt someone or hurt something. So I have learned to just kind of roll with it and just kind of laugh it off and say, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Even if my project doesn't turn out exactly the way I thought it would, even if it's not nearly as pretty as I had it in my head that it would be, I am okay with it. I'm at peace with it. You know what? I would probably still wear it anyway, because I'm just one of those people that it's okay if it's not perfect for me, you know. But I feel like I am onto something with the necklace design, but I really do feel like I need someone else's opinion of what they would do. Maybe you would just leave the bottom and just do chain the rest of the way up. Tell me what you would do in my situation, because I really do want to know. I really do like it when you guys all have like something to give to my design, to whatever I'm making. Okay, so there's my bracelet and all my little bangles on it. Let me find my, I'm gonna use one of these big lobster ones. And then I need some, hook that on with, and then I need another big one to grab it. There we go. Okay, and then just hooking the other jump ring on so my lobster clasp can clasp onto it. And again, this isn't meant for me to, it's not gonna fit like you would put a bracelet on that, you know, with a clasp. This is just making it so that, because it's not very big, like it's not very long, it's not gonna just naturally stay on my wrist probably. So I just wanna clasp it together and it'll hold it together. I probably made it too long, which I did. You know what? That's okay. Maybe I won't even need the clasp. I'll probably take that off. All right, so here it is, and it's just like a little bangle, and all my little beads are here. There we go. And I think I am gonna take it off, because you know what? It is fine without it. So here we go. It is just fine without it. Even better, then I won't have to get any more gold clasps right now. All right. And let's take that off. And if I wanted to, I could just hang something on the little ends too. But I think that because it has little dangles all the way around it, it's probably gonna be okay. All right, so here is my bangle. And I think it turned out really cute. I think it's pretty. I like that it's just kind of wrapped with some fabric, and it's, you know, it's kind of messy here. Oh, this has not been my favorite work of art today, you guys. This is not, it's okay though. I still love it. It's pretty. You know what? It's the thought that counts, right? All right, so let's get these earrings made, because I am going to go make some dinner. So these are what I saw on Pinterest. And I'm like, okay, well, I can see where that makes sense. Now let's see if I can remember. So I'm cutting about 2 inches over the other one, 2 to 3 inches over, just so we have some space to do our loops. And I'm going to do the other one the same way. If I can find the end again. There it is. All right. So right about here. We still have quite a bit left. I think we can make some really cute stuff with that. I'll try not to get too creative this time. So what they did was, because I've always just did my loops on top and then connected them with like a jump ring. And I thought that was the right way. But this is what somebody did. So they took their round nose pliers and they did it sideways. They made the loop sideways. So like this. Okay. All right. See? Just like that. Seems simple enough, right? But it blew my mind because I didn't know like that's what you do. And then they took the other one and they just put it through. Oops. See, it made it look easy. Okay. To where they wanted it to be. So like right here. Okay. Must not have went through. All right. And then they were able to make their loop right over top of it. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So I thought that was really cool. All right, so here we go. We have one side looped, and I'm not going to fill these up with a ton of beads. But what we are going to do is we're going to use these little blue drops. We're going to use some of these gold spacers. I had it right. I'm going to use a couple of these gold spacers. I'm going to use some of these red, a couple of these jasper, and a couple, oh, you know what? I want to use these. No, I don't. I'm going to use these. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. So we need to put these on a head pin. And I'm going to use the ball head pin again. And I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to do a wrap.
I was trying to figure out something like for remodeling.
Okay. Because that's going to be our center. I'm pretty sure the favorite thing out of this whole thing is going to be the earrings. Unless I get these totally wrong too and just not do so hot. All right. So clip that off there. Let's get one started here. So I already have the loop on that. And let's do this. So I want one of these gold spacers. All right, so I want one of these little red guys. And then one of these big blue ones. And then another gold spacer. And then this jasper bead. And then another gold spacer. And then I want my little teardrop shaped melon bead. And then another gold spacer. Whoops. And then another jasper bead, another gold spacer. I guess I just used the regular ones, that's fine. Put those back. And then I need the blue one. And I need one of these red. And another gold. Okay, so that's what I have for my earring. All right, and now we're going to feed this back in there. And to where it's right about here, I am going to cut off memory wire cutters. Here we go. This much. Probably cut off way too much to begin with. All right, so now I'm going to twist this one back towards the top to give myself a loop for my ear wire. Oh, open that back up just a little bit so that the other one can go right in there. Oh, come on. You know, this whole little picture made it look so easy. Just want to open that back up a little bit. There we go. All right. So close that one back up a little. And all the way. There we go. Just fix that loop a little bit more. And try to close it more. We don't want that open that far. Come on, don't be a pain. There we go. All right, so that's what they did, just like that. And I thought, I'm like, wow, it's not going all like weird and having to connect it with a jump ring. I really like that. So then you should be able to use your ear wires. And did I not bring my ear wires out with me? I am gonna grab those real quick because I don't see them right here. Okay, I have my ear wires. We're almost done, guys. And I will put the necklace on too so you can see it. I'm only gonna need 2 of those, Jody, not all of them. Okay. So I'm gonna open up my ear wire and I'll hang that out. I even put the earrings on too and my bracelet just so you can see the whole thing on me. And close that back up. I like how big they are. I know not everyone likes big earrings like that, but I thought they were gonna be kind of cool looking. All right, so we're going to do our little loop sideways, just like the other one. You know, sometimes you can find some really cool little helpful hints on Pinterest. I'm always looking for something on there that would help me do the things that I do, you know, whether it be something new or just an improvement to what I'm doing. You know, I keep saying that I don't like my necklace. You know what? I do like the necklace. I want it to look like it's supposed to look in my head. I love the colors together. I think the colors are gorgeous. I think that I think maybe too many of the links was just too many. And I may change that. I want to think about it while I'm cutting up stuff for dinner. And if I do change that, I will add that to our part 3. And this time I'm not going to get so over the top creative with it. And maybe I'll try to stay a little bit more tame and maybe not so much extra stuff. But I don't know, you know, I like doing stuff that I don't do. You know, I don't know. Or that I don't do very often even. Like I've done the sari silk wrapping on a bracelet and I've always liked that. You know, maybe I should attach leather on the end because I have some brown leather that would look really pretty with it. And then that way it could be like tied, you know, you could tie it around your wrist or whatever, which would be really cute. But anyway, I'm just hoping to spark some ideas in you guys too. I mean, honestly, you know, if my things that I make, I feel don't turn out the way I want them to turn out, I want to hear your opinions on things. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I am a very understanding person about stuff. I mean, if you physically, you know, if you go after me, like just be mean, then yeah, my feelings would be hurt. I'm a human being. But giving me constructive criticism on what will help me become even better at what I do than what I am right now, I would love that. That would be what I would be looking for. All right, so here's our other earring. Almost done with that. And I'm going to take off my earrings that I'm wearing now, and I can show these on camera for you. All right. So there's that. Now I'm going to make sure this is closed, because that's where I kind of struggled the most, I think, where it wasn't closing all the way and my wire wanted to pop through. All right, so there we go. And you can make these earrings so much smaller. I'm just making them big because I want them to be big. I want really big hoops. I don't have any giant hoops. All right, so about the same size as the other one. We're going to want to cut it right here. Trimming off, leaving myself about 1/4 inch to make that loop. And now this loop is going to go up. So we're going to roll it up. Okay, just like that. Just close that up. All right, just slide this back underneath that one while it's still a little bit open. Oh, I didn't leave it open enough. All right, there we go. Whew, had to work at it a little bit. All right, now I'm just gonna fix that loop a little and close it up. There we go. There. All right, now I can hang my ear wire from it. Oh my goodness, that's much bigger. All right, let's fix that. I need probably about this much off. All right, fixing that. Doesn't take long. All right, there, that's better. Now they're gonna be very close to the same size there. That's what we want. All right, now I can hang my ear wire on it and close that back up. All right, okay guys, I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna get all this on and I'm gonna flip you around. Okay, so this one's gonna be a long ways now, but I felt like maybe you could see it better. So that's what the earrings look like. I really like those. I like that they're longer. It would look really cute with like maybe like a tank, or you know, maybe like a sleeveless shirt. This is the necklace, and there we go. And I love the tassel, first of all. I love the tassel, okay? I think that's cute, and I love this part. But I think what I'm gonna end up doing is taking these off, because it's still technically using memory wire, and I'm going to do chain all the way up. And I think that would be so much cuter. So, or maybe I'll do chain part of the way up and then tie off the back with the rest of the, the sari silk. And then here's the bracelet. Actually, I think the bracelet looks really cute. And then all the charms ended up falling down to the bottom and hanging from the bottom. And I really think that turned out cute. But with me having it on now, I feel like it looks better. It's just, I really feel like this is where my dream did not come true. It didn't come true, guys. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get rid of this and do a chain. I tried. All right, so that's it. That's what I have. And I am going to, before I take the picture of it all set up, I am going to switch that out and I will make it pretty and it will be just the chain. But I wanted you guys to be able to see what was in my head. And then, you know, maybe you can help me figure out why I'm not. I really like the curve idea. It didn't work out. All right. Anyway, thanks for joining me. And I really wish I could have made 2 sets of something today, because that would have been so much more fun than you guys watching me struggle through this whole thing. I hope I made you laugh. I hope you had a good time anyway. I hope that you were compassionate for my pain that I was going through. But more so, I hope you have some really great ideas for me. I would really, really, really appreciate that. Throw them at me. I would love them all. And maybe that's something I can incorporate into the next thing I do. So I have my colors all picked out, but I'm not real sure what I want to do with all of it yet. But I will try to get that one going as soon as I can. And thank you again, everyone, for being so kind to me and so sweet. And please enjoy some little giggles. And I know a lot of you will shake your head yes, because you've been there. And keep those, you know, good things coming to me, because I love it. I appreciate it. All right, everyone, have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.